What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Rhino's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at TFC's Headstrong. And since this is the first one of the series, the truth is I'm going to be on vacation for this week. I'm going to be at the Hilton Head with my family. I could have just not done any videos this week, but I decided to give you guys a little treat, so you're getting a video every day while I'm away, just so there's something to watch and have a LOL or two. So, and trust me, this set is full of LOLs, so we're going to be looking at this guy first. Head is on a ball joint. The head looks way more like Rhinox than it does like Headstrong, and many were saying that, including my buddy T2RX6, that we'll probably get a repaint of this guy as Rhinox, but that as yet has not happened. Paint is decent. The gold is painted well on the face, and the gray stripes are painted well. The ball joint gets you good down, not so much up. Side to side is fine. It's on one of those TFC head flaps that doesn't peg in, so you have to deal with that nonsense, but that is that. Moving down the figure, these are the shoulders. Now, you can have the shoulders this way if you want them to be a little bit more bulked up, and that doesn't look bad. That doesn't look wrong, right? But you can also have it more mainlined. The shoulders are on these double hinges, which we kind of saw a little bit of in their Prometheus line. So you get a soft ratchet here, and then the hinge, which gets you up to there. These are on their own set of hinges, so they can get out of the way fairly well for articulation, and then you have to move them back up into position to get your bicep swivel. And then there's a double jointed elbow, but it still only gets you about 90 degrees. The red is painted fantastic, as is the gray. And the hand sucks, not only in articulation, but in design. It looks like a G1 Optimus. I mean, it looks terrible, and there's nothing, no movement to it. But the paint on the black looks fantastic, I must say. Good detailing here in the torso. Black paint is painted well. The gold, I wish it was silver. I think it would have stood out a little bit more, but it is there. And then you get the horn there, and then these ears. It all kind of helps break it up. Other arm is identical. And let's move these back into position, because I think I like it a little bit more mainlined. And then there's a waist swivel, which is a little loose. It kind of reminds me of the Hurricane Man, or whatever it was, from He-Man. And the pelvis is painted well. Grays and blacks all good. Universal joints for the hips. Soft ratchets forward and back. Nothing really out to the side, but they work fairly well. Not a lick of paint on the thighs. Knees, single hinge, gets you just shy of 90 degrees. You might even be able to get the... Yeah, you can get the full 90 if you get it out of the way of the kibble. So that's fine. Paint is all well done, even the red in there, which I don't really feel like they had to do, but they did anyway, so that's nice. And then the gray here, the gold there, the gold there, the gray there, the silver there, all looks good. Feet are on a ball joint, so you get a rocker to there, and then you get a tilt up to there at the swivel where the ball joint is, so that's cool. Back cleans up fairly well. You got this little piece in here, but it's not ridiculous. It's certainly not as ridiculous as this guy looks in general. But there. Also, you can open these up, and you can bring the head out and move that back. And then you can have a more G1 looking, but the head is massive, and it does, the bot head does kind of get lost in there, and it does impede articulation a bit. Now, this whole set is on loan to me from Joe KW, and shout out to him, but I don't have any instructions or anything like that, so we're just going to kind of wing it, all right? We'll open this up here, and we're going to try to go to combine mode. Let's do that first, I guess. So, straighten out these paws down here at the bottom and collapse. I've left the combiner port in. Fold, I guess you can peg these in now. Alright. Fold these back, huh? And then the feet up. Bring the arms, the hands inside. Same on the other side. And let's see, bring this like this. Tuck the head in there as well. Open that up. Bring the combine port out, and there you have it. Then you have this bit of business here. This is like an accessory, and it comes apart, and you can use it with guns, and none of it really looks right, so not really worth talking about. We'll talk about it a little bit in combine mode, and plug that in there to the bottom, and leg. Now to go to bull mode. Let's see here. Untab these. And that stays there. Bring these around. This tabs together. Take this off. These down. These clip onto here, so you gotta like push up and pull out. So be mindful, because I already noticed some stress marks in there on his. Alright. Extend the waist bit. The pelvis comes up and in. This piece comes down and theoretically should lock all that into place. There. These, let's see here. Alright. So, let's see. Like that. Open this little flap. Rotate. There you go. Pull these hands down here. There's a little tail. You would think that there'd be something to do with these. I guess they just sit down. This combiner port is in the way, obviously. There you go. Ears up. And yeah, he's a pretty beastly little fella. Not hateful, to be honest. Not perfect, but not hateful. So the head is on this ball joint here. It's fairly limited range of motion. Oh, you bring the horn up. Fairly limited range of motion wise. The ears are articulated down and up on a hinge, and then the mouth does open. Brr, brr. So there's that. It feels like there's a piece that should plug in there. I wonder if he has it. Arms, you get out to there. It's on that double hinge, so you can move these up out of the way to get a better range of motion. And I wonder, like, that looks better to me. But I don't know, I think they're supposed to be down. But I think I like that better. And we get the bicep swivel that way. If it's inside, you do not. Foot's on a ball peg on a hinge, so you get your rocker and all that stuff. And then on the back, you get the universal joint, just really to bring it forward. And then you get the this bend here at the knee to go, or I guess that's where the universal joint comes in. And the bend here at the knee makes your leg go out. And then no ankle rocker, which is a unfortunate circumstance. And yeah, yeah, he's chunky. I wonder if, let me see something here. Yeah, I think I like that better. Maybe that's right. If it's not right, it should be, if you know what I'm saying. Because that looks a little bit more like something's going on there. So, yeah, you got some options still. And just like you have these options, if you want to bring them around to the side, you can if you like that look or whatever. And then inside here, there's these power core combiner pegs. I guess I don't know for what. I haven't seen any weapons that look like they utilize them, but they're there. So if I personally don't like to be reminded of anything related to power core combiners, but if you do, then by all means have at it. Size comparison wise, we're gonna put him with Deluxe Skywarp and Voyager Silverbolt, just because most everyone has a Deluxe Seeker, and everyone probably has some sort of repaint of this fella, so he's a little bit shy of a modern day Voyager. The negatives for me here is that the robot sculpt is just way off the reservation. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. It doesn't feel like the character, and that kind of gives it a knockoff feeling. It just feels cheapened. Outside of that, there's nothing really that makes this feel like it's up to today's standard. A lot of this feels like a year behind. Now I'm looking at it late, I know that, but it even feels a year behind Rex. There's definitely an improvement between this and Prometheus. Like, there's just a lot of things that just feel very cheap here. Now, the materials don't feel cheap or anything like that. It's just the engineering feels very basic. And as a result, everything feels basic. The articulation feels basic. The look looks basic. It's just, it looks very general. There's nothing really here that's exciting. There is a lot of paint, though, and there's a lot of color breakup and different uses of plastic in order to make it look visually interesting. So that definitely plays to his strengths. If it had the same kind of paint application that Hercules had, with this sort of a sculpt and engineering, it would really look behind the eight ball. But because it has a lot of vibrant colors and they're mixed up fairly well, it does give off a look that looks better than it is and looks more in line with the price tag than the toy actually is. So that's definitely a bonus. And the Rhino mode itself is pretty cool. It's not great, and I thought I would like this more than I would like Feral Rex's Rhino mode, because even that Rhino mode, I'm like, eh. But I mean, it's really good. Feral Rex's is really good, but it's just like when I saw this, I was like, man, this looks more like Headstrong to me. But in hand, I can't concur anymore with that. I think that Rhino mode is definitely, you know, the better look here between the two modes, but it is still not quite good enough. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.
Mr. Skullface. There's no drinking in therapy sessions. You know this. We've talked about the rules before.
Yeah. Here's the thing about that, Doc. Do I come to your job teaching you how to be a... Don't worry about what I do.
Okay.
I'm what they call a boss.
Ah.
I tweet like Dame Dash.
You know what? We'll let this minor infraction. I see you're in a very excited place.
Hasn't been a good week, Doc.
Oh, why don't you tell me about it? What are you going through right now?
Some knuckleheads. Dealing with some knuckleheads.
Knuckleheads.
These basement dwellers.
Mm.
They're like the vampires in 30 Days Night.
Ah, I'm familiar with that one.
Last time they saw any bit of sunshine was on the Lucky Charms box.
Mm.
The rainbow and the whole bit. Purple flowers, green hearts, yellow moons, orange stars, green... that whole bit. That's them.
I'm feeling a lot of anger, a lot of tension going on right now.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit stressed.
So what happened, Mr. Skullface?
You know, it's halfway my fault.
Hmm.
It's halfway my fault. See, I expect people to be straight up with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm always straight up with people.
Very forward, yes.
Very forward.
Mm-hmm.
Straightforward.
I'm
like the rook on the chessboard. I expect more from people.
Mm.
And I don't get it.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, I got big feelings. And I wear my heart on my sleeve.
You have big feelings. I understand this.
I do. I'm not a soft individual.
Mm-hmm.
But if you cut me, do I not bleed?
I assume so.
Do I not hurt?
Maybe.
I cry like the next man.
Hmm.
I go into it. I don't do it in public.
You
Or I'll tell you what else.
You have your shame closet.
I'll tell you what else men are getting into.
What's that?
Crying on a job.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand. You got product in your hair. You got slippery shoes on. You got little jeans with sparkles on them. I mean, I see you, you little weasel. But it doesn't mean that you get to cry in front of everybody. You're an adult. You're a man.
Mr. Skullface, do you think that you maybe need to cry in front of me?
I'm just saying, I'm not Superman. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got feelings.
Maybe Batman.
Sometimes I feel a bit more like Batman.
All right,
For justice.
Are you familiar with the motion picture? It was an amazing movie, really. It should have won several Academy Awards. The title is Frozen.
The Disney one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let it go. Let it go.
I'm not letting go, Doc. You know what I'm going to let go? I'm going to let the rage go. When I show up at some of these nerds' house, when I find them, I got people. I know people. I'm not the internet guy, but I know people that know the internet. And when they find their little IP address, and I show up at their door, and I pop up like whack-a-mole, guess what they're going to feel? They're going to feel a certain kind of way. And when they show up, then I'm going to grab them by their little wrangly throat and grab their little neck beard. And when they're breathing out of their mouth, I'm going to close their mouth and force them to breathe out of their nose. For the first time in 10 years, they'll be breathing out of their nose. And then you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to put them in a proper shirt, and then I'm going to put pants on them, and I'm going to put some shoes on them, and I'm going to make them go outside and face the world, the real world out there. And don't wipe my hands off. There's nothing wrong with my hands. Don't you worry about my hands. Your shoes are filthy. I should be washing my hands from dealing with your shoes.
Mr. Skullface, I don't think that this is any longer the place for you to get help. What we're going to do is I'm going to make you a prescription. Hold on a moment, please. I think it's time to do some anger management classes, okay?
Oh my God.
So, here's the address of the facility. I think, Skullface, Mr. Skullface, here you go, this paper. I need you to take this from my hand. I give you proper instructions. And take that, and we're gonna talk to you in a few weeks after you've done some anger management classes.
You are something else. You are something else. You're a wild card, you.
I know. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure seeing
Kicking
you.
me
right
out.
now. I'm not kicking you out.
I haven't wanted to come here for 5 years. I've been coming here. I haven't wanted to come here once, and now I'm coming, and you're making me leave.
Through this problem, this isn't the proper facility for you. I thank you, sir.
Fine. Fine. You buy this?
Yes, it's a classy piece. I love the shapes and the color. It says so much to me.
My wife has one of these.
Does she?
2 of yous. I'll tell you something. You guys are something else. Something else.